One. Sorry. Hello, everyone. You know who I am. And right now, I'm doing a shakedown run with Lilly Belle here. And you've seen my updates on this engine and when she was completely in pieces, so you really know the kind of trouble I went through to make sure this engine was ready by today. Today, this engine is going to be picked up, loaded up, and put in my car in preparation for this weekend. She was taken apart 2 Saturdays ago, completely. All this external piping was completely torn off. The cylinders were dropped and completely disassembled. The drivers were dropped and completely disassembled. The connecting rods came off. The tender tank, the tank came right off. The wheel trucks came right out. The toolboxes, took them off. Water hatch, took it off. Toolbox here, took it off. Sound unit, had to make sure it was carefully intact and no paint got on it. The smoke box, even the smoke box was separated in two from the boiler, which made it a lot easier because normally that rarely to never happens, but I was fortunate enough that the smoke box came off so I wouldn't have to worry about the front boiler brass band. So I was able to slide that right out. And of course I managed to get the boiler brass bands off. And as you see, the smoke box, how I did that was I blended together a really, really dark graphite with gloss black to sort of make it a glossy graphite look like they do on the Walt Disney World Railroad. And I love the outcome. And it sort of blends together at the bottom of the stack because at the bottom rim of this smokestack, it's not yet black. It's still graphite color because that's how they are on the Walt Disney World Railroad. If you're wondering why I don't have the lettering, that is completely out of my league because if you look carefully on the Walt Disney World Railroad number 2, the Lilly Belle, it's got extremely exquisite detail, especially on the tender, beautiful leafing and everything, and that is just way too out of my league, and I fear that I could instantly ruin the engine if I don't do it right. So I'm gonna have a real good friend of mine help me out with that. The wheels, pinstriping the wheels was a nightmare. Because, especially the counterweights, because I had to go real slow and there are sometimes they spread out, so I had to repaint over them. It took me several tries to get them. And right here is the crosshead pump. Just like the Walt Disney World Railroad engines have. They use crosshead pumps. The whistle's still on top of the engine. And believe it or not, this is not the same dome that you saw in some of the earlier updates. The steam dome is actually a completely different one. It's an old steam dome that came off my Eureka and Palisade before my Eureka and Palisade locomotive got rebuilt. This is her old steam dome, and it has the red striping and the gold that Lilly Belle's got, so I thought it was a perfect fit. Just paint over the top and the bottom half, and we're good to go. The air pump is on the right-hand side on the model, unlike on the Lilly Belle, the actual prototype, it's on the left-hand side. Also, the crosshead is completely different. It uses a normal single guide, whereas this one uses a double guide. Also, the smokestack is flatter on the Lilly Belle. And it's not supposed to be making coal shoveling because she's an oil burner. And of course the Lilly Belle does not have emergency brake shoes or an engine brake right here. I kept it on because I like the look of it. And also another difference is she has a coupler, whereas this one has a drawbar because I like the look of traditional looking pilot. And also I like the look of red on the spot plate, so the actual Lilly Belle's is completely gold. I decided to paint the spot plate nice red with gold on the outside. And that seemed to work, and it looks pretty nice, and I love it. Yeah, the sound battery went out, so she's probably resting. I'll see if I can boost it up. Yep, that was it. Sound battery was dying. And that's the reason. Yeah, so nothing to worry. I don't have to worry about the sound unit going out, because that really concerns me, because after a few years, the Phoenix sound batteries died down. A lot of my Phoenix sound units were upgraded to from 2Ks to PB9s and PB11s. Only one of them is a 2K right now, and that's my Heisler 102. And that sound unit is actually still going strong. Well, let's go to the tender. Lilly Belle's tender doesn't have this beautiful natural wood, but I liked the look of it, so I decided to paint it in natural wood. And now for the oil load. If you're wondering, how on earth did I get a hold of an oil load or make one? That was actually pretty easy. It's actually the coal load. I turned the coal load upside down and just placed some sandpaper right here and used an old water hatch from the Eureka and Palisade to use that as an oil hatch. I pretty much put sandpaper insulation like the actual Lilly Belle has, and bingo! I actually had to use a huge bucket load of super glue in order to make it stick, but it works. Yeah, I'm sorry she doesn't have the lettering. That would really give it away and look awesome. But for now, I'm very pleased with how she looks. The paints I use are Tamiya Paints. They're really good paints, but they're really expensive, but they're worth every last penny. Because, well, they gave me this. That's Tamiya for you. And we'll look at the rest of the train. Don't mind my boot, sorry. Well, these train cars are from the Disneyland Railroad in Paris. We got the Boston, which is a really dark blue that goes behind the George Washington engine. We have the Durango, which is sort of like a beautiful golden yellow, like you see on the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad. It goes behind the William F. Cody. We have the Coney Island, which is a beautiful creamy color and beautifully striped. It's like a West Coast style car, theme park car. And it goes behind the CK Holiday. Unfortunately, they didn't do an Anaheim or Orlando, which they did for Disneyland Railroad in Paris, which is the fourth contest that goes behind the Eureka. And the last car, the Lilly Belle Parlor car. I've also done a lot of work on it, completely changed the paint job and re-decaled it and decorated it with the flags. Also, the trucks are a beautiful green colored, so are the platforms. I also gave it an observation platform. It still says South Pacific Coast, and I wanted to honor the originality of the old drumhead, so I left it at South Pacific Coast. Yep, that's the Lilly Belle Parlor car. And here's the entire Disney train, and here's the engine, and we'll give her a little run. Now Lilly Belle is going to be coming down the track with a smokey stack, just as they say in the welcome show at Walt Disney World. And there it goes, it's a smokey stack. this engine is a really good performer, and no doubt will hopefully be a huge hit at the Vallejo Fairgrounds in Salona County. Yeah, this is a really nice mogul. She has always been an easy engine to operate, easy one to maintain, and keep in good condition. And originally, this was the original road name, Kansas Central. And now it's the Walt Disney World Railroad number 2. It actually took me a lot longer to restore this engine's older sister, Zelda, which is South Pacific Coast number 12, right there, which actually looks really similar, but is not exactly identical. That engine took longer to rebuild because actually there was nothing mechanically wrong with this engine, it was all cosmetics, whereas this one, the number 12, had a lot of mechanical problems with her, so yeah, there was a lot of things to go on mechanically as well as cosmetics. Cosmetics were more of a cherry on top, whereas it had to have a mechanical overhaul, as well as a new soundboard, because the old soundboard died. Well, we got a Walt Disney World Railroad engine hauling the Disneyland Railroad cars from Paris. That smoke unit is an LGB smoke unit. The problem with the original Bachmann smoke units is they never really work. They're only good for about the first couple weeks or so, and then they instantly go out. They then corrode and start leaking and make a mess. Whereas LGB smoke units, they work really, really good. As you can see, she's really smoking like a chimney. And smoke is going all the way back to the sofa. Zelda's smoke unit is exactly the same. It's an LGB 5-volter. Sorry. And now we can look at the piping and everything. And we'll take a careful look at the other side. As you can see, the door is open, and the cab interior is sort of a pistachio white, a dark pistachio mint color, like it is on the prototypes, but it's a more wider color on the actual engine. Also, for some reason, the light bulbs seem to have burned out, so the light bulb doesn't work on the headlight. But for me, that's okay, because the smoke unit works, and the sound unit works, and it runs great. Yeah, this is by far my best-looking engine, and I hate to toot my own horn, but this is just one of the most amazing models I've seen. Yeah, another difference, the actual Lilly Belle uses a spoked pony wheel, whereas this one is a complete solid wheel, but you can keep naming the differences here and there, saying this boiler's too narrow, or the stack is too tall, or this headlight beam is too thick, or the pilot's not right, and she doesn't have the cab support brackets, and the whistle's on top instead of on the side. Yeah, you can name the several differences, but overall, if Bachmann did a Lilly Belle, most rail fans would be pleased and have a good replication. Well, that's it for now. See you later. Chris97